Freak accident at a Bay Area hospital, an MRI scan that went horribly wrong.
And now there are claims that lack of oversight is putting patients at risk.
Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday. This, of course, is Crazy News Reacts. Welcome aboard. I'd like to welcome all our new subscribers. Glad to have you here. Hang in there. Coming up, MRI machines that kill people. Did you know about this?
It was late February at Kaiser's Redwood City Medical Center. An ordinary day from the outside, but inside, an MRI technician reported hearing screaming coming from the other room. This photo explains why. The hospital bed was pulled uncontrollably into the MRI machine by its magnetic force. A nurse became pinned between the bed and the machine, reports say. She suffered crushing injuries. The patient fell to the floor. The incident is detailed in a Cal OSHA investigation.
Now, that's some crazy shit, okay? You go for an MRI, you assume that the people doing the MRI have the experience to keep you safe. That, as we see, is not necessarily the case. Imagine you're laying in an MRI machine. You hear it starting to whir up, and you don't think anything about it until this happens.
Kaiser failed to ensure the door to the MRI room remained closed, and employees were following safety guidelines. The injured nurse recalling,
I was getting pushed by the bed. Basically, I was running backwards. If I didn't run, the bed would smash me underneath.
Holy Mother Mary and Joseph, if you believe in the royal God family. Imagine you're just a nurse, you're doing your 8 hours, you're there, or 12 hours, whatever you do. You're there, you're going through the routine of putting someone in the MRI, and then suddenly pulls a freaking stretcher right into the goddamn MRI machine and kills you. Who would have ever guessed that could happen?
My first thoughts were, not again.
Tobias Gilk is an MRI safety expert whose own research using federal data shows as the number of scans and exams increases, so do accidents, but at 3 times the rate.
You know, this reminds me, I've had many MRIs, especially in the last 15 years due to a really bad accident I had. Spine surgery, cervical surgery, both hips replaced, brain surgery. That's why I have brain damage. And sometimes when I'm talking to you good people, my favorite subscribers, that I lose my train of thought. And sometimes you'll actually see it happen. It's kind of scary, but hey, I'm a horror writer. Let's go on and see what other great treats Kaiser Permanente has for us.
Online videos show the sheer power of the machine's magnet on anything metal.
One thing I can say is all of the MRIs I've had, not once did a nurse, a doctor, a technician, anyone tell me, oh, there's this risk that something could get pulled into the MRI and chop your head off or whatever, right? Did you ever think that would happen to you in an MRI machine? No freaking no.
It's why there are typically a series of rooms and doors, areas to screen for metal objects. But these findings by the California Department of Public Health show Kaiser Redwood City failed to provide radiologic services in a safe manner.
And if you're in there when this happens, you're definitely going to get injured, if not killed. And, their mentality is, oh, it's an accident, Accidents happen. Yeah, no, accidents like this don't happen. For technicians or doctors or anyone else to bring metal in the MRI room, a complete idiot. I might have to nominate him for the Idiot of the Year award.
The systemic problems start, regulators say, with the nurse and patient care tech left unsupervised without MRI personnel. No one, including the patient, was ever screened. The door to the magnetic room was left opened, and the safety alarm never sounded.
Read lawsuit, read liability. This is just something that shouldn't happen. You trust these doctors and these technicians, hospitals, facilities to do their job and do it safely so that you, the patient, will survive getting into an MRI machine. Doesn't look too good.
But we found Kaiser's own MRI safety policy was not followed. Records show some required safety training never happened. The facility also failed to test the door alarm annually as recommended.
What the fuck? There's like 4 to 5 failures right here in front of us. The one incident, 4 to 5 failures.
But we found Kaiser's own MRI safety policy was not followed. Records show some required safety training never happened. The facility also failed to test the door alarm annually as recommended. Our teams responded quickly, and those involved immediately received the care and support they needed. This was a rare occurrence, but we are not satisfied until we understand why an accident occurs and implement changes to prevent it from occurring again.
Check the door alarm. as recommended. There's a door alarm. I've never heard it. A lot of the things they're saying in this report just don't happen in real life, like the 5 to 6 different rooms you have to go through to get to the MRI machine, which is bullshit. I mean, I go down a hallway and into a room. There's no multiple rooms, you know?
But a source alleges this wasn't the only incident at the Redwood City Hospital and shared this photo of another accident.
It becomes important for us to ensure that we restrict access to the site only to people that need to be there. And
Why incidents occur? Well, it's right there in front of your face. Your employees are bringing metal into the goddamn MRI room. What do you expect to happen? Magnetic resonance. That's what an MRI is. Anything that is metal in that room is going to go flying at lightning speed, MRI machine. And I feel bad for the person that's in there. And clearly, this does not give me any confidence in my next MRI.
we can control what and who enters and how they're exposed to what.
For the nurse who became stuck against the magnet, she suffered severe lacerations requiring surgery, including the removal of 2 embedded screws.
I thought it was important to show you this video because a lot of people don't know what is inside an MRI machine. And as you can see, those magnets really get up to super high speed. So if there's any metal that might displace that, totally explodes, you're dead inside there. This is a serious piece of equipment. And I hope you learned something about it today. Don't bring anything in there if you have to have one. I'm RJ Smith. It's Sunday. This is a short one. I hope you had a great Saturday, and I'll see you back here tomorrow morning.